The exercise of the week is slider reverse lunge. In terms of equipment, we have these slide boards here at our gym, but if you don't have a slide board, all you need to use is something that looks like this, which is a sliding disc. There's two sides to this. There's a soft side, which can easily slide on a hard surface, and then there's a hard side, which can slide on a soft surface, such as carpet or turf. So if you don't have a slide board like I'm going to use, you will do exactly what I'm going to teach you to do. You'll just use a sliding disc instead. A slider reverse lunge is simply when we start with our feet underneath us and we slide into a reverse lunge, come down into the lunge, and then push through our front foot to stand up. There's lots of different variations of this exercise or a method that we follow in terms of progressing, and I'm going to walk you through each of those. The baseline, what we call the baseline version of this exercise, which means that 80% of our population does this version, is a goblet reverse slider lunge. Goblet simply refers to the position in which you hold the weight. I'm using a kettlebell right now, but you could also use a dumbbell held vertically. I position it in this goblet position. Once I'm here, in terms of the mechanics or the execution of the actual reverse lunge, I'll start sliding my non-working leg back. And as soon as I start sliding it back, I'm going to immediately start dropping that knee. And you'll notice that my upper body shifts my weight forward into my front foot. And then to stand up, I'm going to push through my front foot, drive the ground down, and stand up. Slide down, shift my weight into my front leg, push through the ground to stand up. This is very much on the way up about your interaction, your foot interaction with the ground. The more you can think about that, the interaction of this foot and the ground and the act of actually pushing your foot through down the ground like you're pushing the earth down to stand up, the more engagement you're going to feel on, well, that entire working leg, especially on the back side or posterior side of that leg. So the baseline version of this exercise, goblet position, nice and high, elbows are tucked in. I start sliding back, all my weight shifts into my stance, my forward leg, push the ground to stand up. You do all the reps on that side, and then all of your prescribed reps on the other side. Once we maximize the amount of weight that can be held in this goblet position, the way we progress that is we'll then let's start with one. We'll take the weight down to a position at our side, and I'm going to hold it what's referred to as contralaterally, or on the same side as my sliding leg, so it's opposite of my working leg. I'm going to do the same lunge, reverse lunge pattern. Immediately start dropping the knee, shift my weight forward. You'll notice that the kettlebell or the weight simply traces the inside of my stance leg, and then I stand up. I'm not moving my arm at all. It's simply hanging on to that weight as I do the reverse slider lunge. At some point, I'm out of breath here. At some point, I will not be able to hold more weight in one hand. So then the next progression is to grab two weights. Now I can increase the total load of the exercise, but I'm not overstraining one side of my body. Same thing, reverse lunge. Now the weights are going to trace both sides of my front leg. My weight shifted forward, push through the ground to stand up. That, with two weights, that's the most advanced progression of this exercise. Now, we have a lot of people that come in here, and this baseline version with the goblet squat or the goblet position is too challenging, or there's very little stability in their lunge pattern. So the way we can help them, and you help yourself, is to do what we call assisting the pattern. I have a PVC pipe here. If you don't have a PVC pipe, you can hang on to the side of a rack. If you have TRX straps or rings, you can hang on to a ring in front of you. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm giving myself another point of contact with the ground. Same movement, same lunge pattern, stand up through that front foot, but now with the support of having this stick, something to hold on to, If I've noticed that I had trouble balancing, that issue has now been resolved. So maybe your starting point is to do assisting the pattern with 1 or 2 PVC pipes, or you're holding on to rings until you develop some base strength in that reverse ladder lunge pattern. Then you can ditch the support and go right into that goblet position, and that's a reverse slider lunge.